With the Covertex wall covering system, you can embellish your walls with a wide range of fabrics. You can use it as a full surface alternative to wallpaper or to accentuate individual walls. Covertex offers several advantages. It provides heat insulation and better room acoustics. You can easily conceal small flaws like stains and cracks with hardly any effort and no construction required. The system is also quick to assemble and only has to be put together once, and you can change the fabrics as often as you wish. You will need the following materials for the simple installation process. If the wall has cracks or other irregularities in its surface, you will also need adhesive for concrete surfaces, hermetic sealing tape, and filler for large cracks. The wall must be clean, dry, and in good condition. Mask small cracks using hermetic sealing tape to prevent stains. Use filler to fill in larger cracks. Finally, measure and mark the side sections of the wall covering. There are two types of profiled rails. If you are using a full surface wall covering, we recommend the Covertex rail without a profiled edge. In this type of installation, the fabric connects directly with the adjoining walls, ceilings, or other components. The component must be stable and even. The ceiling or wall acts as the counter support for the rail. For an uneven contact surface or wall coverings without an adjacent component, we recommend the Covertex rail with a profiled edge. The rail with an edge should also be used for dry wall constructions. When the walls move, the edge will ensure that the fabric stays firmly in place. The rail must be mounted in such a way that the rubber lips are flush to the ceiling, sidewall, or door frame, for example. Time to get started. Only miter the rails on one side. If the wall has any curves, the rails must be bent in advance. To bend them horizontally, you can cut them, as shown here. To bend them vertically, you can carefully heat them up, for example with a hot air gun. The profiled rail should only slightly touch the ceiling on ceiling finishes and vertical wall finishes. It may be necessary to leave a small gap in the case of particularly thick fabrics. If walls are to be covered over corners, the vertical rails are attached in such a way that the rubber lips touch lightly. When attaching the rails, work from top to bottom. The wall thickness should be at least 15 to 20 millimeters. Cut off the excess fabric length shortly before the final attachment stage. Remove sockets and switches and lay the remnants of the rails underneath. This prevents the fabric from pressing against the wall, which can cause unsightly wrinkles. When the molding is completely attached, install the molton. The molton layer provides additional insulation and prevents heat from escaping through the wall. To do so, cut the molton around 1 to 2 centimeters larger than you need. If you want to hang pictures and shelves on the wall, prior to attaching the molton, you should attach a 6 to 7 millimeter thick wooden panel. Staple it firmly to the edge of the wall. Depending on the size of the wall covering, the molton should be attached singly across the surface in order to prevent the formation of dents. The molton should end at the inner edge of the profiled rail so as to provide a flat and uniform surface. Adjust the size after stapling by using a cutter to make a clean cut on the inner edge of the rubber lip. Virtually all decorative fabrics are suitable for wall coverings. A wall covered in fabric absorbs sound, which significantly improves room acoustics. The selected fabric must have a certain strength when stretched and should be just thick enough to fit into the rail. If the wall is wider than the fabric's width, multiple pieces of the fabric must be stitched together. Iron the seams so that they push through towards the front. Prior to stretching the fabric, mark the seams on the rail. This makes it easier to stretch the fabric so that it is smooth and straight. Finally, roughly stretch the fabric in the profile rail. If necessary, add a few centimeters of fabric. For large surfaces, you can use the metal spatula to pre-tension the roughly cut cloth approximately every 30 to 50 centimeters. Piece by piece, press the fabric into place using oscillating movements of the metal spatula. Start stretching the fabric at the upper edge, then at the bottom, and then finally the sides with the metal spatula. While doing so, prevent waves from forming in the fabric. So long as the excess fabric has not yet been cut, you can always pull the fabric out from between the lips and re-stretch it. Once all of the fabric has been attached, the overhanging fabric addition can be shortened with scissors to 0.5 to 1 centimeter. To finish, press the remaining centimeters of the fabric into the profiled rail using oscillating movements of the plastic spatula. Using the plastic spatula prevents unsightly streaks from appearing on the adjacent walls or ceilings. If, after this process, the fabric is not tight enough or even puckers, use the plastic spatula again. By carefully and repeatedly oscillating the plastic spatula, you can compensate any differences in tension and thereby smooth out puckering. If there are sockets on the wall, outline the spots where the sockets are normally attached to the wall on the fabric. Carefully cut these shapes out of the fabric. Then, replace the sockets and secure them on the wall. If desired, fill in the cracks between the edge and the wall with acrylic to create a smoother looking transition. Covertex Wall Covering System. A system with many advantages. We would be happy to advise you on selecting the right fabrics. Please contact us.